Well, I don't even know what to say, man.
I'll say this about Penn State: stay for one game, even when they lose, they're exciting, man. I mean, the Pitt game,
There will never, ever be another season like this, and it was kind of a perfect storm. And wouldn't it end like this, with the storm eventually blowing them away? Best run I ever saw, best game I ever saw.
Yeah.
In the end, it's just heartbreak for these guys.
You look at all the yards that Penn State gained, you look at the fourth quarter lead, you look at all of that, you think they have the game in control, and I give USC a lot of credit. I mean, that quarterback's good. I thought Saquon Barkley, Dave, was the best player on the field. The best unit on the field was the USC offensive line. And
they never touched that guy.
That guy had way too much time. He threw 53 times. Penn State's pass rush never got there. I thought really that was the story of the game. They've been getting pressure in the second half of games. They didn't get close to the guy.
Yeah, they didn't get home on any blitzes.
Yeah.
They tried everything they could to get to him. And he's kind of like Brady as a freshman, a really impressive quarterback, Sam Darnold, because he can little side steps, little moves here and there.
Yeah.
And when he needed to eject, he ejected, and then he burned them with more big plays. I mean, he really didn't make many errors at all. But the funny part about the game is that this team has always played with who gives a damn kind of attitude. And yet, at the very end, they've owned fourth quarters more than any team in the country. Yet at the end, they had to start considering clock, and they kind of played a little cautious, and it came back to get them.
14 yards, I think, on 4 fourth quarter possessions for Penn State.
Yeah.
Saquon Barkley had a terrific game, but they didn't do enough in the fourth quarter. And even when they tried to throw and get daring there at the end, it came back to bite them too. Trace McSorley, it was such a hot, cold game for him. Dave, he looked awesome on a couple of plays, on a couple of sequences, but just 2 interceptions out of the 3 that really, really hurt Penn State, and they lost the turnover battle, and it just was not their night.
I think on the last one, the critical interception, he's just thinking. He's been throwing it up to Chris Godwin all year. Okay, I'm just going to do it one more time.
Yeah.
And the timing wasn't quite right. Godwin thought he was open. I don't think he saw the safety 22 come from behind, or he could have made a play on that ball just like he always has.
Yeah.
I don't think he knew he was there. He was kind of over his shoulder. And a guy stepped in front of it, runs 32 yards. All of a sudden, they got a field goal. They win again.
For all those yards, I really thought that Penn State could really only establish Godwin in the passing game. I thought they missed Blacknall. Deshaun Hamilton, no catches, no yards. I don't even know they threw his way.
I don't think they targeted him once. Yeah.
I mean, this is a passing game that's been balanced all year. I thought that hurt them, but I just thought just a fantastic game. I don't think we'll ever see a better game. I know we'll never be at a better Rose Bowl.
I put this in my column, and I grew up in a place where the Rose Bowl is really valued, in the Midwest. And I understand that Penn State fans have grown up in a whole different attitude. And when they were independent, they went to all sorts of bowl games. The Rose Bowl has always been the thing in the Midwest, and I've seen over 50 of them. I've seen them every year because it was the game that you always watched in the Midwest if you went to a Big Ten school. And I can tell you, there's never been a better Rose Bowl for excitement, pairing out the fact that the Texas-USC game had such import for the national title in the post-2005 game. You could argue that was maybe an equal, or the Ron Vanderkillen Wisconsin game in post-62 against USC, 42-37. But for sheer entertainment and twists and turns, the best Rose Bowl of all time, dating back to 1902, and that's amazing.
One other thing, Penn State fans, and Dave, I would say this: don't feel too dejected about what you saw today. It was a good game. This whole team's coming back next year. I know the schedule's tough, but this team will only get better.
I will caution you with one thing, and an old coach that we both know from down in South Georgia said this, and you know who I'm talking about. And he said that it's like magic, a season like this. It's like alchemy. It just comes together like a little perfect storm, and then it disperses. It's like love. You can't understand it. So I don't know that we can expect next season to be better, even though what you say makes logical sense. This will always be a season for the ages and a season for the memory banks. The damn thing is, it just ended on one bitter memory. And that's it from the Rose Bowl in Pasadena. Adios.
You've seen a lot of Rose